And we are live, guys, and we are back. On tonight's show, we have Sean from ParkSpill, we have Mikhile, James, and the one and only Chris from ScrewyLoops. Hello, guys. How is everybody, and how have you been? And welcome to Season 2 of the CoasterGen Show. It's gonna be so good. We've got so many cool guests coming on this season, honestly. Just a quick one. While we've been offline, I've been uploading all of Season 1 to Spotify, and at 8 p.m. on Saturday, they will all be available. The full catalogue of all the CoasterGen shows and Keep You in the Loop all be available from Saturday on Spotify, so make sure you check that out.
How many were there?
A lot. It's taken me almost a month to many.
Wow.
Yeah, quick maths is probably like
quick maths.
a lot.
We started at the start of lockdown, basically. So,
yeah, there's loads. There was some that I've left out. Mikhail's unfortunately got left out because that was on Joe's channel, and Joe scrapped his channel, so we lost the video for it.
Nah, they just don't like me.
So we'll have to do another one with you about when you operated all them legendary rides, man.
Yeah, we can do. That was a good episode. It's unfortunate that we've lost it, but hey, I'm down to do another one. It'd be just as good.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, so our guest today is Chris from ScrewyLoops. How you doing, Chris? How you doing, man? I'm
okay. Yeah, I'm pretty good. Need to quit my YouTube channel this week, but all good. I don't know what it is. This week's been hell, man.
Do you want to just talk about it quickly?
I don't know, man. It's a funny one because obviously, I mean, as a creator yourselves, you probably kind of understand the pain of putting so much time into a video and then it just doesn't, it doesn't kick, it doesn't work. And it kind of bummed me a bit, but YouTube in general has been really weird lately.
Views have been down all over the place, man. Like that Lift Hill walk me and Sean did only got 400 views. I was expecting way more than that. Really was, but I'll put my life on the line. And
He could have fallen.
I could have fallen and died. Yes.
You could have had a tumble.
Yeah, could have. Yeah, nearly did on the way down. To be fair, I couldn't see them steps at all on the way down. It was so difficult.
That was scary. To be fair.
But yeah, no, I know what you mean. YouTube's being proper weird at the moment, and if you guys watching right now, you lot, I'm telling you off with a Rita pen, right? Hit the notification bell, because a lot of you don't have the notifications turned on, and you're not going to see when a video goes out. You're going to see it 2 or 3 days later. It's too late then, because the algorithm on YouTube are like, no one watched that video. So it really helps our channels if you hit the notification bell, smash like on the videos, and make sure you subscribe if you're not. It really, really helps. Honestly, it does. But yeah, YouTube's been strange, man. I mean, there's been so much content from everyone, though. I start to feel like I'm going to upload a Skurfest video a week after everybody's been. It's going to be too late. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting off it. A little bit. But it's just been, CoasterBot.
I was just about
YouTube
to say,
is genuinely being a bit crap with roller coaster videos and things. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Did he just not like them anymore? I don't know. What is it?
It's kind of what. Yeah, I said it.
YouTube aren't enthusiasts anymore.
Yeah.
They had a bad experience.
You, I said it to Chris. Every channel that I watch regarding like theme parks and YouTube, even Disney stuff, is all down, massively down. So I don't know. It's just something they're probably tinkering around with, and it will just sort itself out eventually. I think.
Usually it's okay this time of year. I've always had it's always been decent around Skurfest Fright nights, but I don't know if it's because of what's happening, with COVID and all that.
Yeah, could be.
Maybe.
It's so weird. I've noticed it all across
it's like.
every single video. Of literally all the interactions just went bang down. I'm like, what's going on? To me, it feels like everyone's lost interest, and that's why I kind of felt a bit bummed out. I was like, maybe
because you're one of them. You reply to every comment, right? And you go through them, and always. But the interaction on Twitter is higher than the comment section on YouTube at the moment. So Twitter's the place to be. If you're not following everyone on Twitter, make sure you do, because at the moment it's the best for interaction with followers and with new people as well. It's really good to put your content on there. So if you do have a channel, make sure you go over to Twitter and start using it, because trust me, Facebook is dead. It really is. I've been running a Facebook page for almost 7 years now, and it's just dropping off a cliff. It really is. So yeah.
can see Dave the Rave in the chat, man.
Yeah,
he's my lucky charm. He's my lucky
it.
charm. He knows it, man.
Yeah. I should have been given the Bella flick. All the true enthusiasts are here. Yeah. If you guys have got any questions as well in the chat, make sure you get them in, because we've got a lot to talk about right now. We're gonna shoot straight into the news, and we're gonna go for the Decepticoaster. Mikhile, do you want to fill us in on this bad boy?
Yeah, I can do. Okay, so Decepticoaster. First of all, I love that name.
Can we just talk about Universal's branding this year? It's like they've gone for half of the name and put C at the end of it. Velocicoaster, Decepticoaster. Like, it seems to be.
Well, that's the thing. That's just how dinosaurs are named.
Yeah, but a Decepticon isn't
Velocicoaster.
It's called Decepticon though. Like,
I'll say it just like it's comical because like how much of a ring it has to it. It 3 hour time.
I just saw that one, Jamie.
If this goes on for 3 hours, I ain't here till the.
No, you won't be here till 3 hours. It'll just be me and Kyle just doing my opinion after like an hour and a half.
Yeah. I'll just slowly phase into the next episode.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. With the whole just kind of like, first half of the name means something, and then followed by coaster. Like it kind of either goes one of two ways. I feel like it sounds good, but like I don't know if people find it too cheesy and stuff, because like with Incredicoaster at Disney's California Adventure, it was it's like I thought I was kind of indifferent to it. It was just kind of there. It didn't really strike me or anything, but I didn't think it was horrible.
Was that California Screaming?
Yeah.
It
was California Screaming initially, and then it got rethemed to The Incredibles, didn't it? Like I thought it was an all right name. And then with Velocicoaster, I thought well, I didn't like it at first, but then just kind of gradually accepting that is what it was going to be called, or that's how people were referring to it. I was like, yeah, okay. And it kind of makes sense as well, because you've got Velociraptor, so like having coaster on the end instead of the raptor part of that word, it just fits with it. And then with Decepticoaster, you've got Decepticon now becoming Decepticoaster. It fits. It fits. I'm not going to say grammatically, but it works.
Yeah,
ish.
Kind of. And
I think
it's just fun, it's comical. Yeah, pretty much.
But I mean, other than the naming, it looks mental. Like the tunnel
does, yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, it's basically a reprofiled version of the Incredible Hulk coaster at Islands of Adventure. That's what it.
I did think it was.
It
it's
and it has vest restraints, right?
Yeah, it has vest restraints, which
I like the zooming in method, Luke. Then it has vest restraints.
They can't see that. I'm on the screen right now. The ride's up on the screen. I basically nearly just yeeted my monitor off the desk.
Oh, here we go. There it is.
He stood up and like went halfway across to his other monitor.
Yeah,
like Space Mountain Mission 2 vibes off that.
Yeah.
Like it's like proper. It's like kind of like a cannon, isn't it? Like shooting.
Yeah. It's literally a weapon. I think that's what it is. After
it's I can't remember the name of the Decepticon from the third Transformers movie, but it's that particular Decepticon. I don't know if it's called Gravitron or something along those lines.
Screen.
I definitely remember the Decepticon it's modeled after, but just look at the tunnel. Doesn't it just look incredible?
It looks
so cool.
So good. And
it looks so cool.
And it'd be interesting to I just want to give a quick hello to Airtime John. He's not been around for ages, so hello. Hey John, how you doing?
Hey.
Yeah.
Looks like male aerial leads.
He's my homie, man. My homie.
Yeah, I miss his
Soundwave.
Soundwave, that's it. Yeah.
Nice one, Dan. Appreciate that. Yeah, Soundwave.
Yes, Dan.
It's cool.
Soundwave.
It looks awesome. I mean, that is just like, does it make the Hulk now back of the shelf kind of model now? Is that what it feels like now?
You know
Or
what
do you
I
think it's
think?
still-
though? What's good about this is like it just shows how good the Hulk's layout is, considering that coaster's 20 years old now. It's roughly about 20 years old. Oh, more than that, isn't it? It's probably not 90. Was it 97?
19. It opened with the park. It opened. I think the park opened in 99, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that.
It could be.
But,
Googling
so,
on there,
like,
James.
you're talking about
I
20.
am googling on it.
Like, it shows,
20,
like,
21 years, yeah.
Even today's standards, that'd work like as a brand new ride. It's quite, it's one of them kind of rides that, like, especially the GP, are like, wow, it's got a launch in versions,
The
Beastly
CoasterGen
Cobra.
elves have got the the CoasterGen elves.
CoasterGen elves. Is that what you call yourself?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Operating
1999.
28th of the 5th, 99.
Yeah, Coasterbot came in there with the fact. I actually read that in his voice.
Harry coming in clutch there.
The Hulk is
It's the
amazing. So
CoasterGen
who's been on the Hulk on here now?
I have.
So
Not been to
Chris.
the US.
All right, so just me and James. Right, go on then. What's it like?
Sean, you want to go first?
John?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, it's rubbish, man. It's
Oh, we thought you had lost you then.
Everyone just skip.
Skip
Can you
back.
hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I hate it. I don't like it at all.
You know what? I don't want to say it because it sounds controversial. I didn't like it that much. You know what I mean? I thought it was good. I'll definitely
Wait.
It was a lot better.
You guys for real didn't like it? I thought you were joking.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all, man. No, I
What do you
hate
like
it.
about it?
Like,
I love it.
I just
Second half.
felt it was like it was just after like the second half is just so boring, and it's just like I don't know, it just depends what you like, and for me it didn't really offer that much in terms of it was just relentless, but it didn't have any of the fun bits to it. Can't really explain it really, but it was just a bit unimaginative, I thought. I don't know, it's just something.
I do understand.
On,
I do understand the whole second half being a bit uneventful, and it is. To be fair, I just love the I love the first half. The first half is amazing. How it's element after element after element after element, and it's so well. The experience is so well themed with the onboard audio as well, and just the theatrical. When you leave the station, you go into the gamma tunnel, and all the lights and effects in there are just so well done. And then for me personally, that experience just carries on right until the mid course, and then it does kind of die off in the second half. But
I'll definitely echo what you said. Not that first. It's the first few versions of Cobra is huge. That vertical loop pulls so many G's. Like
did you grey out?
It just kind of. I did. The one ride I did. I got some stars. But it's just like after that loop, it does this kind of bank turn, and it just I don't know what it's doing there. It's just kind of. It's kind of like you just press that button on Rollercoaster Tycoon and just finish the layout. Just. So
I'll say this. I got to ride Hulk before the retrack in 2016 and after it as well.
Okay.
So like the I did like the just the initial version of it. Granted, I was 11 and 16 at the time. I went when I was 11, then I went 16. So it was good. Like I really enjoyed it. They changed up the story as well as the retrack as well, and then revitalized all of the queue line theming and the station theming, and the lights and effects inside the tunnel as well. And it was like night and day to me. Getting to ride the retrack version just because of how much fresher, how much more intensive all of the effects looked as well. To be honest, with the ride itself, I didn't really notice that much difference from initial to retracked version.
Yeah,
but the thematic elements,
the big
one. I'll bet you can. But for me, it was more so the thematic elements that made it so much better for me.
Cool, man. That's good. It's crazy to get such different contrast in opinions on like such an iconic B&M coaster as well. Like, because
I think it really depends at what age you rode that coaster.
Yeah,
I feel like for a lot of people, it was like one first big massive coasters when they were a kid. I did it like earlier this year, so I didn't have that like nostalgia with it.
I keep forgetting you went this year. That seems like a lifetime ago now.
Yeah. And I think I overhyped it. I haven't overhyped it massively in my head. And because obviously it's just an iconic coaster, isn't it? Like seeing the pictures everywhere. So when I went on it, I was expecting it to be like amazing, and I come off and I just had like I don't know if it was very hot when we was there. Obviously it's Florida, it's always hot, but it was ridiculously hot that day. So I don't know if it made it like way more mental. Like it was so rough. Like every time I did it like 3 times, had a gap between them. I just had a headache. It's the only coaster that gave me like a proper bad headache.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a weird. That's
crazy.
But I guess it just goes to show how much you can big these rides up in your head.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
That point about depending on like how old you were when you rode it, like what kind of did you ride it in the late 2010s? Did you ride it in the 2000s? Did you know it? I think that's a really good point, just because we're so used to much more aerobatic rides now than we were in the late 2000s, the early and mid 2000s, and then obviously in '99 when it opened. Like if you try and compare everything else to that coaster in 1999 versus comparing it to what we have now, you kind of look at it and think it's kind of passable maybe. So I do see your point there totally.
Well, sticking with B&M, should we go to Grunerland and check out this amazing? Let's go, man. Look at this.
That's support. That's all I'm going to say.
How good does this thing look?
That just looks insane. That looks incredible. Like, unfortunately, that's the only picture I've got to show you guys right now. But in the future, when we do actually a bigger, episode on certain topics, we're trying to fly through them all, basically. But I mean, that support is straight out. We're past the Hulk now. You're gonna have to go to something else. Look at the whole Marvel range going on here right now over
I'm wondering if it'll give that kind of like Osiris kind of style drop, because there's no pre-drop. It just kind of just swings straight down.
Yeah, it looks good, man. It looks awesome. It looks so good without the pre-drop. I love B&Ms without pre-drops. I make them all the time in No Limits, and in the past,
can we talk about the way that banks though?
Yeah,
how tight that roll is.
It's sharp. It's gonna whip.
God.
Yeah, it's gonna whip.
It's gonna be
because it's
so
going down
whippy
as well. It's like someone's got air's drop and like squished it. That's kind of what it feels like. The first drop on air. That's what it feels like. It just looks incredible.
How many cars are on the trains? Do we know?
No, I don't. I don't.
If that's,
I feel
that's
like it'd be
standard. If it's a standard 7, backseat of that round the bottom, that drop's going to be insane.
I feel like it's going to be 7. Yeah, it could be 8, but I feel like because of the scale of it, I could see it being 7.
I love the way that B&M have just gone like full on. Look what we can do when we think outside the box. I mean, that support. Look at it.
Yeah, I haven't seen one like that before on a B&M. I think that's the first time they've ever done anything like that.
It's crazy.
Looking at RCDB, it's predicted to be 6 cars per train.
Okay.
Really?
There you go.
Gonna be called Monster.
Monster, yeah, that's what it's called. Monster. Yeah, is it going to be sponsored by Monster as well? That'd be so cool. A free kind of Monster when you get in the queue line. That'd be like
that's what Blackpool would do that.
Hey, that's a good thing, man.
Yeah.
Reminds me of queuing up for GTA when it came out at Tesco. They came out and give us like a load of Monster because we were like stood there for like 3 hours trying to get the first GTA 5 of Tesco. It reminds me of that. Every time I hear Monster, I literally come straight to my head. But that support, though, that column looks straight out of a spinning coaster from Mara or something.
Yeah.
That is literally like, it's crazy.
Theme Park Jake said apparently they're theming that support. So it'd be interesting to see what they do.
It's obviously to save space.
Yeah.
Because look at what's right. There's buildings
sure.
right below the drop, so they can't actually.
And water, I believe. Like that's one of the parks that I'm really interested to visit. Like,
yeah, same.
big time.
Such a weird park. I've never been, but I do want to do it. Man.
Yeah, it looks.
Well,
crazy.
it reminds me of Blackpool Pleasure Beach in the sense that you've got all the rides just all stacked on top of each other. It's not like a one of one fit with each coaster, how they go over and under each other. It's really cool looking.
All right, so on to the next one then. The Intamin Mega Coaster, Wallaby, Belgium. Look at that bad boy. Now, that is something we spoke about a few times on here, but we've got more of a layout to show you here now on the stream. You can see that, and it looks
mental.
It looks crazy. The amount of Chris. So you rode Hyperion, right?
Yeah.
You said it was rattly the first couple of times you went on it. So did
yeah,
and then you said you got the inner seats and then it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, this is the thing with it's a common thing with Intamin coasters. I think if they do any trains that are 4 seats like per row, it always causes problems. Like if you're on the outside seat of like Furious Bacco,
yes,
for example, you're having a bad time.
Furious Bacon.
Yeah,
Flying Aces, exactly
Furious
the same.
Bacon.
Is it?
Flying Aces is very rough on the outside seat, especially towards the back. And I haven't been on Skyrush, but I've heard people say like the outside seats are a bit more rattly than the insides, and Hyperion as well. I think Intamin needs to sort the trains out. So I'm hoping this is just too, because the normal standard Intamin trains are great, like Taran's trains, no problem. But the ones with 4 rows or wing coasters or what they call them.
Well, I think
that airtime hill over the.
Oh yeah, that looks insane. You're gonna be going so fast over that. Like, I love the way though. I love how dramatic the supports are over that little ravine. Like,
we're not putting any supports.
Nothing must break over the water.
That's not a ravine.
To be fair to them, like they had to support it like that because the cost of putting supports into water.
Oh yeah,
there's no point.
I get it. It's just like
extra.
It's just Intamin. They just go mental. They just go mental. When anything isn't an A-frame, they just like throw pikes up for no reason. Look at Rita. Like, how many supports has Rita got? Like, even Colossus as well. Like, just do you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, Colossus has like a constant support running along the track.
It's like this. And every Intamin turnaround is like just because like it's like dots at the end of the track. It's crazy, like, but it does look incredible, and that looks like definitely one we have to go out there.
What throws me off the most about this is just the height difference going from element to element. Like, it doesn't really show it in this picture that much, but the height difference from the top of the first drop to the first airtime hill is substantial. Like that first airtime hill is way smaller than the first drop is.
It is.
And then you see the non-inverting Cobra roll going from that to the size of the airtime hill following it, which you can really see in that picture. It's ridiculous. You're gonna get pitched out your seat on that one.
Yeeted. We use the word yeeted out your seat here. That's the phrase.
What's everyone think of the actual track design? Because I feel like Intamin have been moving into this new track design over the past few years, haven't they?
Yeah.
I like this track design.
I like it.
So much.
I think it aesthetically more pleasing than the other one. To be fair, that's what I think.
Nah, see, I'm
you don't like it.
Controversial opinion.
Here we go. ScrewyLoops in the house.
I don't know what it is. But like the first time I noticed it like properly was when I went on Red Force, and I just thought like it just doesn't look like an Intamin.
See, Red Force to me isn't. Yeah. I don't agree with the grey track on that. I don't agree with the grey track on Red Force. That shouldn't be that colour.
It's a grey track.
When the first time I saw the kind of more normal 2 rails and thick spine track that Intamin did with Skyrush, I think it was.
Skyrush.
Either Skyrush or Intimidator 305, I think was the first one. Either one of those, so I can't remember which one. Like the first time I saw it, I was like, I kind of felt the same as you, Chris. Like that doesn't look like Intamin track. Like, why are they going back to the more conventional looking track? And now I've just grown to get used to it. And now with what they're doing on on Velocicoaster, Pantheon, on Hyperion as well. The rest of them, I love that track design so much. It looks aesthetically pleasing, but it also looks like really beefy and intimidating as well. Yeah. And I really like that about it.
It's a lot bigger than it looks on pictures in person. I bet
I bet
it's massive. There's one thing like I love after close season when you go to a park and you see like you used to be able to jump on the monorail and go across Alton Towers, and you see like Air and Nemesis, and you forgot how big B&M track is, and you're just like,
wow. Like you walk up to Oblivion.
Yeah, when you walk up to Oblivion, you're like, geez.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like every season it gets me, like every year. Like you've not seen a coaster for ages, and then you see one, you're like, man, that thing's huge. Like how
I was thinking that when I was in the queue for Smiler last month, like it's just because I hadn't seen Coaster Track in person for so long. I was just like, I've forgotten how how big and wide like coaster spans are and stuff, like, track gauges.
Like you say, like, when you just look at pictures and then you just, like you said, see it in real life, it just gives it that scale that you never get from like photos and videos. Yeah. I think a coaster like that really shocked me the most. There's, God, I'm trying to think one now. I don't know why I even thought of that, because I didn't even have a coaster in my head. But like, it's like saying like something like Shambhala or something. Like you look at pictures, it's like, I'll have this. Then you get there and you're like, what?
I did have like the same reaction to it when I saw Velocicoaster's track, and I was just like, I just really like when you look at Karen's track, it's
you've seen it in person. Why don't I just ask
you? Yeah, it's so like beefy, and I just,
it is.
And I don't know, I see the other one, I'm like, it just doesn't, like you were saying, doesn't look like Intamin to me, really. But I guess it's one of them. But apparently, like, Phantasialand asked for him to have that older style track for him.
The tri-tube track.
Yeah, the tri-tube. I can't speak.
The choo-choo.
Choo-choo. But not so they asked for that to go with the theming of Klugheim, then I'm guessing. Basically, to make.
I'm guessing so. Yeah, I'm guessing.
Maybe they didn't want it. The striking sort of look of the track to take away from the theming. Maybe.
Yeah.
In there.
Possibly.
I don't know.
Possibly.
Oh, have you seen what Sam's just put in the chat? Do you want to answer
I just read it.
Do you want to answer that?
Don't rub it in.
I think you should answer that.
That's still that is a sensitive subject still.
And if you want to find out why,
I'm more angry the more I think about it.
Yeah. And if you want to find out why, scroll up the chat, and the link to Sean's latest video from Fright Nights is on there, so you can go and check that out and find out why Sam just asked that question. And really, he's pissed off now. He's proper. He's proper wound up.
Yeah. I know I wasn't that bad on the night, and then the more I've thought about it single day, like I've got more and more angry about it. So I don't know.
Harry's made a good point here. He's basically said the tri-tube and double spine tracks are different properties and can do slightly different things.
Yeah,
which I think is completely right.
Yeah,
I mean, look at like Velocicoaster, Pantheon, the new one at Wallaby, like the way they've almost like RMC style like transitions on some of the elements.
They can definitely do more with that. With the double spine being on it, you can put more forces on it. The train will probably run better as well on that track, doing them inversions and them transitions, like you say. And
to my understanding, just Intamin just moving through different renditions of their track design in general over the years has just been, I think their main aim has just been cost effectiveness. Like the overall costs of manufacturing that track, there's less welds that go into it, with a beefier track,
quicker at putting up as well, maybe.
That too. And with a beefier track spine, the coaster doesn't need as many supports, because you see certain points on Velocicoaster, you just see no supports and you're like, there should be a support here, but because of how strong the track spines are, you can have those wide spans of just no supports in the track and essentially keep itself up.
Yeah,
kind of like with B&Ms in the same sense.
Yeah. All right, so that took a lot. Okay, so now we've got the SNS spinning shot seats. So yeah, what are your guys' opinions on that?
I'd ride it.
I like it. I'll dig it as long as it doesn't keep spinning around. I'm more one of these.
You just get to the bottom and then it's just like
drag people up slowly, facing the floor or something like that, and then tip them upside down at the top.
S&S have stolen the washing machine element.
Oh yeah, they have. You're not wrong, are you? You're not wrong. They've just put it on a shot tower instead of a track.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What rides would what like drop towers or shot towers would you like to see this on? Like what would you if you could think of one off your head? Which one would you like? Because obviously it has to be S&S.
It's the one on top of the building in Las Vegas.
S&S. Could you imagine?
Possibly. Oh my god. That's when I went, it was shut. We were allowed outside for literally about 15 minutes. It was so windy.
Oh, the wind, yeah.
Yeah. But I got to the entranceway for it and looked up, and then the barrier thins out at the top. So when you're on the entranceway, you can see more down than what you can actually on the main platform. And I just looked down and I thought, man, that's chaos.
Yeah.
That ride is chaos.
What about the ride that way you like
tilt out? Yeah.
And then you drop forwards and then it's
shut. The only thing that was open was people jumping off, and I'm like, no, I'm definitely not doing that. So
taking it too far.
Don't fancy doing that. Yeah. So that was a shame. But like maybe I know it's not S&S, but like something like Ice Blast or something like that would be pretty sweet. Like if they could do it, that would be cool.
Is Ice Blast not S&S?
I don't think it is. I'm not sure what it is.
I assumed it was.
It looks like one.
Okay, Ice Blast. Yeah, put it on Ice Blast.
I'm searching now.
Come on, elves.
I'm gonna say Zombieland in Motion Gate.
It is an S&S drop tower.
Zombieland in Motion Gate.
Yeah, it's just a basic shot tower with a drop function as well, a bit like the one in Flamingoland.
Okay,
but it's all themed experience. It's got like all the queues themed to Zombieland.
Nice.
There's a little pre-ride section before you get on. It's all like built around. I don't know if it's like a volcano kind of thing. I can't remember what it was. It had like steam, and I imagine that'd be really theatrical.
Is it the same double shot as Cliffhanger at Flamingoland? It shoots you up and then it holds you up at the top and then drops you.
Yeah, that's an awesome shot tower as well, man. It's probably the best one I've done.
Did you do the one at Oakwood?
Bounce.
Yeah.
Open when I've been there. It's just constantly closed.
I did manage to do it. Like it was pretty good actually. We had a really good cycle on it when I did it. I did it a while ago now. Oh, it was a good few years ago now. But when I did it, I really enjoyed it. Went on it a few times. The restraints were crap though. They were crap. They were horrible. Oh, and apparently Sean is the host.
Hey.
Is he back? Hello, Sean.
There he is. I think.
Hello.
We're having problems with Zoom tonight, guys. So just bear with any technical hitches.
My connection is really bad at the minute.
So should we have a quick look in the chat, see what any questions are, and then we can get into talking about our trips, what we've done recently, basically. I know I keep hearing it. I keep hearing her tippy tapping all over the place as well. Like they're running around. It's going crazy. It's like
it's a nightmare.
Funny though. It's funny. It adds to it. Yeah. So if you listen to this on Spotify, make sure you watch the video because you'll see Chris's dog running around everywhere. So if you guys want to run through the chat quickly and have a quick look, I saw one about Thought Park.
Yeah. Someone asked about Thought Park. I saw that.
There you go, from Liam Bloomer. Question for all: what do you guys think of the next major coaster at Thought Park? An RMC or another B&M? What do you guys think?
RMC.
And it's open. There goes Pandora's box. That's the.
We've got enough B&Ms. We just need an RMC now.
Yeah, definitely. I think we need an RMC. Like, I don't know. Maybe even like it's GCI. I don't know. Like, there was a lot of talk when Wickerman got built that Merlin had bought a package with GCI. So they were
they did in terms of Wickerman and the retrack.
of Colossus,
Wait,
is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it Mag?
But whether they bought 3 or 2.
Yeah.
Honestly, at this point, I would rather see a GCI than an RMC at Thorpe Park personally, just because
What about a GCI with a new track?
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That
would be cool.
I'd be up for that.
Yeah.
I'd be up for that.
Sold. Sold to the man on the right. No, seriously. I love Chris. Chris is literally just like that meme where he's just stood there and it's like fired.
Everything is fine.
This is fine.
That's the one.
Wait.
Oh dear.
That's the one. I knew I'd seen it somewhere. It was you testing your backgrounds out the other day.
Have you ever seen that news on the news where there's that bloke who's talking in his house and then the baby comes in and that kills me.
In the background.
It's so funny. It's crazy.
Yeah, but
right. Have we got any more? Let's have a look. Guys, get some questions in and we can.
Dogs only ever improve things, especially podcasts.
Yeah.
Can I retweet that? Joe, tweet that and I'll retweet it. What else we got?
If you're wondering what I'm drinking, it's Old Peculiar.
Old Peculiar.
I'm always going to say that.
I'm drinking it in a Muse cup
Pickles.
because I don't want to promote alcoholism, you know.
Yeah.
All right, just told us. So.
Drinking moderation.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking that myself, Sean. I'm
Constantly drinking now, like.
No, it's not. No.
Here's a good question. Are you looking forward to the Towers documentary?
Oh yeah, the one on Channel
about
4.
that earlier.
Yeah.
I think it's Channel 4. Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be good. I wonder what it's going to be about.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Have you got a
quick?
It
my
was
guess is it's going to be about
them.
COVID and like how the park has dealt.
It is. It's about them opening back up for after lockdown ended, basically, because they were filming like all around the park for like the first 2 weeks.
So that's probably the camera.
It was meant to come out like
the first day.
With the drone, yeah.
Yeah, we saw guys with a drone and like a guy
walking
walking around with just a big camera.
A massive camera.
Yeah.
Massive camera on the show.
And he was moody as hell. Like I had a GoPro and like I was just walking there with the GoPro and the handheld thing for it, the stabilizer. And I went, "Oh well, I want your camera, mate." And he just looked at me and went, like a scare actor.
Mate, you don't understand how stressful working in TV is. It's like so stressful.
Not.
Like that's why I quit while I was ahead.
So did you actually work in TV then? And then you went on to doing your freelance stuff?
I did like a few little kind of things on TV adverts and things like that. Had the
Bang,
little,
and the dirt is gone. you Barry Scott.
Yeah. But one of my best mates, like he works in TV, and it's so stressful because it's like most of the time it's just like you finish a job and then you got to start a new contract and something else. It's like you're never really employed by like one company. And yeah, you hear some cutthroat stories from the TV industry. Real bad.
I bet. Oh, what should we talk about while we're on this subject? Man, you doing that video for Skurfest. How cool was that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. That was like,
oh yeah, just playing it off. Like, oh yeah, just went.
It was, yeah, that was a dream come true. That really was. That was amazing. It was really fun. They approached like us and just said like, we like the stuff. Can you come and film some stuff for us? And yeah, we ended up just working together, and it went really well. And the highlight of it was Joe trying to like navigate me through mine tours backwards while I was filming like people walking through it. It was
so you were actually filming people. You were actually filming people in the maze.
There's one shot. We used like one shot from it. Yeah.
I don't know what shot you mean.
The main thing. I ended up editing it as well, the one that just come out. But I've given them like loads of footage that they can use for the foreseeable future. So yeah, it was like really fun. But we did mine tours twice. I'm a massive wimp anyway. Like I love scare mazes, but at the start of the season, like honestly, it's so daunting. So then the first scare maze I did of the season, I was having to film it. So I was like when I was going through forwards, I was like having to. A scare actor would come out, and I'd just like dash, like go back, and then be like, "Can you just do that again, please?" It was just like constantly, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Cool, man. That's so.
But yeah,
so
glad
cool.
you liked it.
Yeah, it was good. I think a lot of people
awesome,
liked it, man. It was awesome. It was really cool. Really well done. Looking forward to if you're working with them again, man, because that's some good stuff coming out of there. I had a question about Flamingoland from Raymond saying, what would you remove from Flamingoland? I believe it was not including Hero. What would you put? What would you put?
I was about to say Hero,
Everyone
even though
was
I've
going
never
to
been
say
on it.
Hero.
What would I get rid of?
Oh, here we go. What
Right.
would you like to remove from Flamingoland next, not including Hero?
I don't. It's a hard
I don't know.
one with Flamingoland because I feel like they've got like just very bizarre kind of coasters and like things you don't normally see out of the parks. Yeah, and
I'd
just
remove
think
the boat
like,
ride, but it's too
I
close
don't
to
know.
animals to put anything substantial in it. So.
I don't
I mean,
know.
they've got
I feel like
loads
their
of
coastal
they've got
lineup,
loads
like,
of land, so I don't think you need to remove it.
Yeah,
their
they've got a lot of
coastal
that.
lineups. Their coastal lineups really obscure. Like in like every
Mm.
ride.
Yeah, if you want a weird day out and weird coaster experiences, Flamingoland's the place to go. That's what I took away from it anyway. And social.
You think about every coaster kind of fills a need.
Kind of.
Apart from the new one, sorry.
Apart from the new one.
Yeah,
So you're not looking forward to that one then?
If it's got lap trains,
I'm excited for it. Don't get me wrong. It's just I'm not over the moon about it because obviously we've already got Colossus.
We
This
could have
is
built
just
something
like
different.
Colossus 2.0 with lap bars and a better drop. I don't know. You know, I don't know. There's nothing for me personally. But
Do you think
for other people?
Do you think Thorpe? Because
it depends if they paid.
They've got it. It's just go. Well, since there's another one in the UK now, we'll get rid of ours and put something else there.
RMC.
Hopefully.
That's a lot of land.
RMC Colossus.
That's a lot of land there. And they've already drained the pond out, so why not?
Yeah, because Intamin's got that new, the new track.
Yeah.
That could be like their RMC track, so they could get rid of the old track.
Can you imagine a tip out just like going over Old Town? Like,
Zero G stall instead of airtime.
Man.
Imagine that.
I'm getting ideas now. No Limits is opening up.
So you got like crazy twisted drop, and then you got your loop, but instead of the airtime now, 0G stall through the tunnel into the curb. Oh my god!
There you go,
go
Chris.
all out with that.
We're going now.
Black bars as well.
Yeah,
are you opening up now?
Black bars, a beastie soundtrack.
Oh. Instead of the barrel rolls, just doing that, they could just like doing corkscrews instead. Just take it to the next level.
Luke's just casually opening up No Limits 2 mid podcast.
Yeah. Literally, that's what's happening.
14 corkscrews at the end. That's what I say.
14
corkscrews.
Interlocking as well.
Interlocking corkscrews. Just backwards and then backwards again. And then round again.
Like
round
7
again.
one way, 7 coming back.
Just a 70-foot drop off the first drop and just keep going around interlocking corkscrews like on Nemesis Inferno. that would be horrible.
Just do it all backwards. They do that thing now where you go up the spike and just do everything backwards.
I could see like an icebreaker kind of ride coming to the UK at some point soon. I really could see that happening.
Drayton Manor, New Vekoma.
Yeah, I think
That'd
so.
be good.
That'd be good. Yeah, that would work out. Yeah, Drayton needs something new now.
Hopefully they can get to a place of financial stability.
To
justify.
And we did that show earlier on this year where we were talking about everything that was going on there. And again, Sean, you've worked with Drayton on the Shockwave video you did, which was awesome as well. So guys, make sure you go and check that out if you want to see some on-ride footage, some new on-ride footage of Shockwave. Go and check it out. It's really good. But
that's a cracking video.
What was your? Yeah, it was really good. What was the feeling you had about the park? Are you optimistic with what's happening in the future, or?
Yeah, like they are like Drayton Manor. Like now I've met the employees and stuff. like, you know, behind the scenes, like they're so like positive, like they're very positive people. And you know, they're all looking for, I mean, at the end of the day, like they've got to keep all their jobs, and that doesn't happen often, things like this.
No.
You know, normally it's a whole restructuring thing. So I don't think they're the type of company to like do that. The fact that they're keeping the owner, who is like the founder's great grandson or something, the fact that they're keeping him as like, you know, MD is a really good move in my opinion. So I think it's just the whole park as a whole, like I always say, like it looks nice, like it's not run down at all.
No.
Like, you know, I'd say like there's a lot of places in Towers and you know, some of the Merlin parks that are more run down, like areas run down than Drayton is. They keep it tip top. And I just hope that they keep on with the theming, the way they theme their rides. Like thinking about, like, you go to most of their rides, there is some kind of theming on everything.
Yeah,
you know, even like Accelerator Q, which was obviously Ben 10. You know, Shockwave was massively themed for its time, and even like the station to Shockwave, it is, you know, it's a light theme, but there's something there.
Yeah,
you know, it's not just. Well, it actually is kind of a shed, but but yeah, I just hope they carry on like down that path. But I don't think they should start trying to build massive thrill coasters. Like being so close to Alton Towers, I don't see the point in that. Like, I think they should just keep on that, like maybe like type of rides, like I guess like 1.2 style coasters if they're going to do anything else. I don't think they need to go mental.
Like a slight step up from Gulliver's, maybe something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I think so. I mean, if they could, I mean, I'd love it because it's 10 minutes away from me if they built like an RMC. But is that going to happen?
See, I completely disagree. I think, you know, the new owners, I think if they want to make an impact and get people back to Drayton Manor, they want to make something serious.
Or make a statement.
Maybe,
then like as competition to Alton Towers, rather than being like, you know, you got Alton Towers and you got Drayton Man who's focusing more to families. I feel like Drayton Man needs to be like, right, you know what, we're going to cater to everyone again. We're going to bring like a good thrill machine.
I would love it. Yeah. I would love it if they would do that.
How many Colossus clones can we get in this country?
Vekoma, the Vekoma Shockwave models. Models.
Yeah.
If they get one of them Drayton Man up, they'll destroy.
Me and Joe said, like when everyone was saying there needs to be an Intamin Blitz in like Catania, the Rapids at Towers, I was like, well, imagine now they've not got Splash Canyon at Drayton Man.
Yeah,
Intamin Blitz that, just do it like around there. I'd happily welcome that. I think the issue that Drayton have, which is a similar issue to what Alton Towers has, is that like permission is so hard, and it always is in this country. And I think as long as we have like this issue of like, you know, residents going against it, even though they live by a theme park, you know, most of the people who complain have, you know, the theme park's been there longer than them, so I don't understand that. But I think as long as we have that, it's going to be so difficult to get like, you know, world class like parks in this country, really. And I think that's what Drayton struggle with a lot as well. They've got a lot of land, but they can't build on a lot of it.
Yeah, it's a shame. I see. The thing is, they've gone from having Shockwave and G-Force, which is a pretty good, solid two-coaster lineup, to be fair. If you go into a park like Drayton, and they offer them two different experiences, which are completely night and day from each other. I've not ridden Shockwave, but I can imagine it's night and day anyway from each other. Then they need to fill that void that they've got between, because they've got Maelstrom, which is one of the best flat rides in the country.
Amazing.
Easy.
I love it.
Fantastic flat ride.
I want to try Maelstrom.
Exactly. So I mean, you've already got two major flat rides there. So get another coaster in, two major coasters, two major flats. You've got your family area. You've got one area there for your thrill, and you've got one area for your family, and then you've got the older stuff as well, which is really cool. Like the Penny Arcade and all that stuff. That's really cool. But if you whack a thrill ride attraction in at the front, maybe not in at the front, but a little bit further into the park, I really think that would boost the park, definitely. And a lot of people
get rid of Buffalo.
Yeah, maybe. Like
nice big area there by the lake.
Even though that's like from my childhood, it's just so weird now. It's just the weirdest. Yeah. It's like it's just like
they've got Thomas Land there, you know. Like I don't feel like What's the point in Buffalo Coaster?
Yeah, it's kind of on the wrong side of the park, isn't it?
Troublesome
Yeah,
trucks
it's
and
like
everything, you know.
away from everything. It's like you have to almost walk. It feels like you're walking outside the park to get into the station. It's weird, but they need to like that. The layout of that park is so nice. The fact that it's like around that lake. They need to do more with that lake. You know, they need to build stuff over. You know, we need a Velocicoaster over that lake. You know, what I mean? We need to make it happen, really.
I just read a pretty funny comment in the chat. I missed the flume at Towers, although I'm so grateful for Wicker Man. I do miss the flume sitting in a bathtub in a theme park and with that creepy duck. I agree. Yeah, from Tyler.
So do I. I missed that flume a lot. That massive
That brings back memories.
It was such a good chill ride to get on. Like you queue up like 20 minutes for it on a busy-ish day, and then you just have like almost like a 10-minute ride. Like
it's awesome because you're going. It feels like you're just going out into the going out into the woods.
Yeah.
And it's just like such a nice if you just want a chilled one, it's awesome, and especially on a hot day.
Yeah,
Towers really do miss like a big major like water.
I miss the classic Alton Towers tackiness. Like I feel like the flume kind of had that feel to it.
I agree.
It was it wasn't. To be fair, if you look at it, really, it wasn't that good. But like, it just, you know what I mean? It was just one of them experiences.
It was.
You just can't get again.
No, you're right, and it's like when you see like the old wood on the arcades and stuff like that. I know what you mean by tackiness. Like that is kind of like the vibe you get when you walk down by the bottom of the Sky Ride and stuff like that. You see that green fence, like you just see it. It's like memories, just so many memories.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what the flume had, and it had a killer last drop as well. That last drop was awesome. I love that last drop.
Yeah, especially if you have your hands up, you fall out. It's great.
Oh.
Wasn't there like a massive tap after that drop as well?
Yeah, huge tap.
Sprinkled water on you, so yeah.
That's in the Scare Maze this year. There's a massive tap in there from the flume in the Toxic Junkyard.
Yeah.
They need the giant duck in a Scare Maze. That would be
amazing. I was half expecting to see a duck at some point.
That is a nightmare, to be fair. That duck was cursed, man. That duck was cursed.
So you see so many kids coming out of that part like crying.
So here's a question in the chat from Liam Bloomer. What restraints do you all prefer? Oof. I'm gonna extend it to just like all the modern ones that we see on modern coaster models and stuff. But he said I prefer overhead restraints.
I'll go quick because I know what mine is straight away. It's the clamshell from B&M. That's my favorite.
Really?
I know what mine is, but also don't at the same time because I've not tried this exact type. But the vest restraints, but the newer type where once it's locked, it can't get tighter.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, because like the Swarm, once it's locked, it can't get looser, but it can still get tighter. The newer style, once they're locked,
the B&M vest.
Yeah, the vest is completely locked on the new one, so they can't even get tighter.
I just assumed that everyone would be lap. Like, why do people like vests?
I like lap bars, but why
do people like vests?
That's such a weird question.
I like
the Marks and Spencer shoppers out there. Why do you?
I like the vest restraints because they're comfy. Yeah. They are quite cozy.
The
Vekoma ones are great
because it's like a hug.
Yeah, it's like a hug.
Yeah, in a world full of no hugs, a vest restraint is the place to be.
Hug.
Put that on a t-shirt immediately.
That is a t-shirt. Yeah. The restraints from Hero.
And it's weird that
God.
What's that?
The restraints from Hero. I couldn't even get on Hero properly.
Yep.
Like I couldn't even get on Hero properly. Like I really couldn't. I felt like I was never secure in that thing. Like my knees were too bent or too straight. Like I really didn't feel like
it's like you won't fall out, but you'll hurt yourself majorly before you fall out. Sort of thing. It's just like don't worry.
You might as well fall out.
Just hurt you.
You might as well just fall out. Just fall out.
Probably less painful.
Yeah, probably. To be fair,
like climbing into like a dishwasher. It's just it's not natural.
Is that speaking from experience, Chris?
Yes, Chris, you've got a story for us there, mate. How you went and got that news cup earlier.
I was put the VR on and just went in the dishwasher and thought, hey, I'm on
The icon restraints, yeah. So the Mac restraints, they're pretty decent. I just love
gorgeous.
like
I love
literally
They're gorgeous.
clamshell.
Max restraints are great.
Clamshell on Shambhala just
Actually,
done.
saying that the Mac, the icon restraints.
They're just like amazing. Yeah, they're amazing.
Just feels like a Ferrari, man.
I think the only
Just
time I've
so-
done that, I've done that and Lost Gravity, and but like I love them restraints. It just feels like there's nothing on you. Like
Literally,
it's just so
literally,
free.
when Time Traveler's seat and restraint made me forget that there was a vertical drop out of the station.
Yeah.
I knew it was one of my favorites. Like, definitely.
And I really like.
Man, awesome with a lap bar, the Mac hype coaster anyway.
Yeah.
The
The
icon restraints. They're over the shoulder lap bars, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They come down
weird,
on a
it's so
pop
wide. Yeah,
like that,
it's
but
so
they are a
wide.
lap
that
bar.
yeah.
They look so goofy when they're up, though. Like me and Sean, I was saying to Sean in the station for Icon when we were queuing up, I was like, they look so goofy when they're up. They look like some.
I now need to
thing.
look at a picture of Icon strength.
They look
Yeah.
mental.
They look crazy when they're up. It's weird.
It's the only like time I'm on a coaster where at the end of it, like I'm sadder to get out of the actual seat itself rather than just getting off the coaster. I'm like, I just want to sit and eat like all day. It's so comfortable. I don't know what it is about it.
I'm not getting off.
It's just like,
I'm not doing it.
oh, make me. We need to make computer chairs. I said this before to Luke. They need to make computer chairs of Icon's seats.
Oh my
God, they are so comfy.
That would
They're
be
so
so.
comfy.
Blackpool Pleasure
Install
Beach,
it in like your car.
Yeah.
Pull up to someone's house with like Mac restraints and a fucking steering wheel.
On a drop top car as well, so everyone sees it.
That would be amazing. That'd be so cool.
So have
Tesla, if you're listening.
Have any of you ridden any wooden coasters with buzz bars on them? Because Behemoth Trims just mentioned buzz bars on Phoenix, and I've ridden Phoenix and just yes, 100% yes, because they don't come down to your lap, they don't touch you at all, and not only do they not touch you, but they come like a few inches away from your lap, like you're not feeling them at all. So when you go over airtime hills, double ups, double downs, all of those, you are like you're not in the seat.
Saying that, I used to
put it bluntly,
stealth,
flying out of the seat.
On stealth, I'd actually like pin myself so that my butt wasn't touching the seat when they put the restraints down. So when it actually launched, I then dropped myself down. So I had about that much gap where I could just float out, like properly float through that ejector.
You didn't catch someone's glasses though, did you? Even though you were floating.
I did try. I didn't do it that time, but I did try and reach them. They were already too far by the time I saw them. It was like.
Oh man!
Isn't that just like riding?
I think the worst restraints have to be what was on like G-Force and
G-Force
Rocket, like the X car. They just
the intimate
that was like
restraints.
that was like the actual
good.
Torture. Like if you were going that vertical bit, it would just fall down onto you, squash your stomach in, and then by the end of it, you couldn't breathe because they just would never lock into place.
It's like that's like wearing a microwave, isn't it? Like you put it down, you sort
what's
like
with all these kitchen like appliances? You keep. Have you got another video that's coming on somewhere, like sponsored by Wix or something? Like,
what you don't see is just off camera. Chris has a literal mountain of microwaves.
I don't want to get to sleep. I'd sleep on a toaster.
He lives in Hot Points warehouse. I thought you all knew this.
Oh man, some of these references are awesome. So who's been out on trips recently then? So obviously Sean's been like everywhere. I've been to Skurfest.
I think my last trip was just before we finished, wasn't it?
Yeah, you went Fright Night, not Fright Nights. You just went to Thorpe. Summer Nights?
Oktoberfest.
Oh, Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest.
Auf Wiedersehen. There you go.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, who went to Oktoberfest?
That word gives me PTSD.
Sean and Chris went to Oktoberfest as well, right? Or did you go, Mikhile?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to Oktoberfest at Towers, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
they
was
went
it?
to the other Oktoberfest.
Good time. It's just beer, sausages, beer.
Yeah.
It was such a nice
Beer?
vibe. We went for I went for 3 days in the middle of September, and luckily it was just sunny every day, apart from 2 out of the 3 days it was sunny. It was just such a nice vibe in terms of the Oktoberfest areas. Specifically, it was just nice. It wasn't like overly crowded or anything, and it wasn't like overwhelming in terms of how much they had to do there and how many different people were performing and stuff. It was just a nice chill place just to sit down, have a bit of food, have a drink and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, what I got out of Skurfest was when you turned up and you seen the benches on the lawns, and they had the entranceway with the pumpkins and stuff like that, and then you had the oozy boozy on the side and all that stuff.
It's kind of, that's why
I was so gutted I couldn't go to Oktoberfest. It looks so good.
Yeah, you kind of can get a similar, because when I went to Oktoberfest, I was like, when I went there, I was like, it's the best event like Towers have ever done, because it was so nice having that lawn as like a central point, just to be like, let's go do something, and then let's just go down. I know you can get beers at other places, but it's nice just being able to sit on the lawn, drink a beer or whatever you want to drink, or have something to eat. And that's why I love the decision that they just went, well, it's all here, so for Scarefest we'll just rebrand everything, make it look spooky, and they rearranged some of they put the bar Oozy Boozy, which is a little bit further up. They've put it down the bottom now, and that creates like a nice little garden thing there now. And it's like self-contained, and we went there yesterday, and it was just like that everyone was just ended up smoking there anyway, even though you can't. So what they've ended up doing was just put in a designated smoking area, which I think's fine. That works, because people are going to do it whether you go or not to.
Yeah.
So
it's just like there's a bench is outside, sit there and smoke.
I think that's a big thing for a lot of people. Is if they do smoke, they do like to have a fag and like.
And it's just like that's just a beer garden. You go out into a beer garden and smoke.
Yeah, literally.
Which is a bench outside. So
that was really good. But yeah, like I say, that was the best addition for me to Scarefest, was just having that there, because now it's like, now you haven't got Project 42, even though I did miss that maze this year. Even though they haven't got that up there, it's just like everything's self-contained into that one area. You got your lawns, the street, and then the towers around there. So I really liked the festival. I've been to a few festivals, and it really did feel like you was going into like a main stage area in a festival, with like all the flooring they've got down, and like the fence that kind of goes around it, and even the lights they put around the trees on the lawns as well was so nice. Like, I
just want to add as well to, like, you said it was like being at a festival. I feel like it's a nice thing for this year, because this year we've been so restricted with everything going on. We've been stuck in for so long, and we've been like, wherever you go, everything's been restricted, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And the way they've done Oktoberfest, it is like a mini festival. Like, they've been sensible about it. Like, everything's spread out. You got live music, entertainment, food, drink. You can socialise with your friends. I really enjoyed it. It was like,
did you guys actually get to try the German beer?
Spaten.
Yeah,
really nice.
So I wanted to try it. It was sold out at Fort Park.
When I went.
I had Bex.
When I went to Fort, I didn't tell us.
No, unfortunately, I was driving.
No,
it might not have been Bex, actually. I think it was Budweiser. I ended up with.
Well, that's not too bad. That's not a bad replacement, really. But I mean,
that was really nice. Though that Spaten was very nice.
I really wanted to try it, and then I saw it was sold out. I was like, oh.
And the difference in steins from Towers to Thorpe as well. That was a thing, wasn't it?
No, but I don't think
they were really similar.
Were they?
No,
Blackpool. Sorry, Blackpool.
I need to go get him because it's so funny. It's like it's an actual stein.
Were they huge?
Yeah, go and get it. It's hilarious. It's just awesome. So
because Thorpe and Towers was literally, it was a pint, well, just over a pint's worth in there.
I'm just gonna. I know this is very unprofessional, but I need a wee.
You're fine. You have to raise your hand. You have to raise your hand.
Need a toilet.
There's need a toilet. Yeah. It's fine. So why they do that? We'll talk a little bit about.
Are you ready?
No, he's here.
Nope.
Yeah, Chris has gone for it. So
that's the ones from Towers. So it's a pint basically.
It was just over a pint. Yeah.
Blackpool are just like, here's our stein. Look at the difference. It's
That's
so
a
funny.
meme.
Oh my god.
That is a meme. Someone make that into a meme. That's hilarious.
That sums up like the
I
differences
think
between
Blackpool are
Blackpool.
overcompensating for something.
I think Blackpool were like, I remember when we used to open till like 12 a.m. every day. Like, we're missing something out here. What was it? Beer.
Yeah.
That was it. We let people in who were already trashed coming into the park world, just straight in into the pleasure beach.
Yeah. Literally.
Oh man, that is crazy. Yeah, that vlog that you shut down at town.
I was just about to say,
Blackpool.
My god,
That was hilarious.
that was so good.
That was
I stand by it. That's the best vlog you've put on the internet so far.
I can't feel the same in a way,
man.
just because it makes me laugh so much.
Yeah.
I was
Sometimes,
I was in two minds. I was like, it's not very professional at all. And I was like, not that I am professional anyway, but I was just like, is this too much? But no, it's funny. Like in the end, I was just like, you know what? The only reason I have a YouTube channel is to look back on like these memories.
Yeah.
So
It's a good
I was
memory,
like, that was a funny memory. So I just put it up, and I was just like, if people like it or don't, whatever. But yeah, it's funny. It's funny. I just remember like getting home on like the Monday and then going through the footage and like, I can't get anything out of this video. I'm just nothing in here. So,
even
we're down here at Blackpool.
Yeah. Even the gimbal
already
couldn't help you keep it steady.
drinking.
Just God.
Oh, you know what it was, right? There was in that vlog. Just it was so funny to me how just at times you were just so obviously trying so hard to just concentrate.
That's the best, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, concentrate now.
We can do this.
Right, what are we doing? And I ended up saying, and then it's so funny because like we was with our two friends, and she doesn't drink at all, so she was like a babysitter basically, just and she just kept saying to me, she's like, you can't say we're going on this ride now because we've just been on it, and I was like, oh. All on camera, just like,
what day is this?
Oh yeah, we have. I was just like, it was outtakes.
Joe says, guys, you've not seen what didn't make the vlog. I think we need a behind the scenes bloopers reel.
We need a
when I'm desperate, when I'm
footage.
in the winter when I'm desperate for content, I'll release like the unseen.
You
can do a commentary on it. You can do a director's cut on it.
Yeah, you just in the corner. Just
and show Chris the difference between the Steins.
Yeah.
Watch this, Chris.
The difference between the Steins, there's towers. That's Blackpool.
Oh my god! Sure, that's a Stein and not like a house.
A keg.
Well, a Stein should be 2 pints. So towers calling them Steins. It's
it was just over a pint on Townsend.
But anyway, it was funny. But like the problem was, it was like £6.50 for 2 pints at Blackpool. So like in a theme park, that's like bargain.
Wow.
Legitimately was with the Stein, I think 7 or 8 quid.
Yeah. Well, at
first one.
Yeah.
At Thorpe.
At Thorpe. Yeah, it was just
7 or 8 quid. And then
that's the cheapest pint you can get in London.
Refills were still like 5 quid after that.
Yeah,
I heard that. I don't think anyone heard that. It's the cheapest pint you can get in London.
No,
not far off.
Thorpe is bad for their prices.
Oh yeah.
Ministry of Sound. When I went, this was like when I was 18.
Many moons ago.
5 years ago. 5 years ago.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah.
Jesus, that's 5 years ago.
Yeah, man.
Oh god,
real world, bro.
I just had that realization.
Welcome to the real world.
That was 5 years ago. Jesus. No, 5 quid per. I think it was 5-6 quid per Jaeger bomb. Not for multiple, per one.
Wow.
Yeah, because they know it sells. That's why they.
Yeah,
like,
it was ridiculous prices.
We
ended up not buying our drinks in the dome. We went out to like the stands that are around the park because they were slightly cheaper.
Well, that's Jaeger bombs. You only tend to buy Jaeger bombs if everyone's so drunk already. So you don't go, how much are your Jaeger bombs? You just go, 20 Jaeger bombs.
I can't drink Jaeger bombs at all because I had basically when I was younger, I was about 15, well, probably 14, 15.
Confession time.
I used to drink relentless, non-stop.
Oh.
Not Jaeger bombs.
I was going to say Jaeger bombs.
I was about to say.
And
it's turned into Alcoholics Anonymous.
I had 2 cans of relentless in the matter of about 2 hours, which is
Oh
like
God.
didn't seem mad when you're like a teenager. It didn't seem that mad. And basically, it sent my heart into like palpitations.
Yeah, it does.
As that
Wow.
was like caffeine.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't stop it. I went home, an hour later, my heart was still going like.
Well, that's the thing. There genuinely has been like really serious issues with Jaeger bombs because, first off, on the cans of like Red Bull and that, it actually says "Do not mix this with alcohol."
Yep.
Just straight up.
No one's
but because alcohol's a depressant, energy drinks are a stimulant. Basically, there was this girl that had, I think it's like 10, 15 Jaeger bombs in a night.
Jesus.
At first, she was fine.
Yeah.
But the alcohol wears off quicker than stimulant. So the depressant wears off quicker.
Yeah.
As that started to come off, her heart rate kept going up and up and up. She actually had a cardiac arrest.
I don't touch them at all.
Got fitted with a pacemaker because of it. So there is a real danger. Don't do Jaeger bombs.
Yeah,
I got
sent to hospital.
I don't need to be warned against 10 Jaeger bombs.
Maybe do 1. Don't do 10.
Yeah. Don't do 10.
Don't do 10.
Just vodka Red Bull is the exact same, isn't it?
Yeah,
literally.
Any alcohol.
To be honest,
don't drink alcohol, kids.
There's a problem though. It's very tasty.
Well,
and it goes
some of it is. Some of it tastes horrendous.
I love Monster Energy like so bad. I've had to calm down drinking Monster Energy, like seriously.
I mean, the Mango
Loco and the Pacific
so good.
Blast, I think it's called, or something like that. That's so nice, so good. And
it's like drinking bloody guinea pig piss. It's horrible. For the record, I haven't tried
out of the dishwasher. That just come out of the microwave.
Out of the dishwasher. Oh Jesus Christ, man!
I'm drinking it right now.
That's how he knows. Yeah. I've gone way off topic here. What was
way off topic? That was.
We're talking about Oktoberfest, weren't we? All right.
Yeah.
Let's quickly talk about Skurfest and Halloween in general. What do you guys think about what the industry has offered this year with everything that's going on? I personally think they've done the best they can with the situation. And I just watched a video from Scott from Pleasure Beach Experience about a Road to Hell, a drive-through experience, and he did it on his own. And he was trying to talk at the end of it, and he was like, "You guys need to do this because it doesn't do it justice." And he cut a lot out of the footage.
Have you done your drive-through one yet, Sean?
No, it got cancelled because it was in Wrexham, so it was in Wales. God. So just on the Welsh border. So it was a bit up in the air because it was meant to happen last Thursday. They had the news. Then because we had press tickets, so they emailed us basically saying like it's like a work thing, so you can travel for work. We were like, I don't think we'll go anyway because it's not really worth even risking it. You know what I mean? So, but then eventually basically what they are doing now, that drive through the drive is Festival. No, not Festival. That's Thorpe Park.
That's Thorpe Park.
That should be drive-through. That looks terrifying.
Yeah.
Festival, it was called. And what they've actually had to do is take it all down, go 20 miles down the road past the border into England, and they're putting it all back up and opening again next Thursday.
Oh wow! So you are going to get to go then?
We're not going to get to go because it's like everyone who had outstanding tickets are now having a thing, but they're the only way
can't
to
fit you in type thing
without going broke, because everyone was asking for a refund, even though they could still technically operate. No one was going to come into the border, across the border from England to Wales. So that was a bit of a shame for them. But this is the thing, and this it's a good example of why we're not seeing a lot of scare events, is because it's a massive gamble.
Huge risk
for these people to do.
Yeah, definitely. Spend all that time.
Yeah. No, employing the actors, training the actors, getting all the health and safety, if it's, it's okay if it's already a place that has facilities, but a lot of these scare events, they're pop-up events, a lot of them are. But I think, like you say, Luke, they're doing the best they can.
Yeah.
So happy. I was so happy with Alton Towers, like their scare mazes was just as good as if not better. I think most of the mazes were way better.
I didn't get to do them, but they looked absolutely incredible.
I didn't get to do. I got to do the 1 out of 2 at Thorpe, but for me, I think with Thorpe, they should have just how good them scare zones are around the park, like Swarm Invasion, Festival. You have the Crows, like they didn't
Creek Freak as well, right? They had
Creek Freak. They had so many good scare mazes. The actors were so good. They interacted with you. They had the 2 shows from Amity High and Lycanthorpe.
Yeah.
It was just an amazing atmosphere. Like, it was so good. And the only thing that let it down was the mazes. And I just think having 2 mazes, they just like sell out. So they just sell them out so quickly. So then it's just like everyone goes at night as well, because they're outside mazes. And in the end, I just think if they just got rid of the mazes, there wouldn't have been any of the pinch points that they had around the park.
Yeah, it did look really busy on that video you just did.
Man, it was heaving. It was absolutely heaving. But yeah, I think the standout event for me there was Extreme Scream. I've never done that before, Extreme Scream Park. And
is that the one at Twin Lakes?
Twin Lakes, yeah. And it blew me away, man. Absolutely. I don't know. Have you ever done that, Chris? Because I know that
Extreme Scream Park, brilliant, yeah.
It's so good.
I just remember this bloke. Is it the what's it called? It's like an asylum scare maze.
Penitentiary, the Hell's Penitentiary, Ash Hell.
Ash Hell, that's it, Ash Hell. Yeah. And there's a bloke who walks above you before you go in. And I just remember there was some like girls walking past eating some chips, and all he said was, he goes, like that. And he says, I'm going to piss in your chips. And I'm really honest, that was the best moment the entire night. I was in tears. Other than that, I got teabagged by a clown. And there's a photo somewhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. I kind of gave a baby to another clown or something. I don't know what's going on. And the baby actually existed and had a name and everything. Weird.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
That is crazy.
But I think that's the thing with Extreme, is they're known as like proper extreme. Like they proper are like, they grab you and everything and it's all sorts. So I'd never done it before, but I heard that stories like Chris just said, and I was like, how are they going to do it this year? But you know what, they've done so well. They've got a lot of animatronics in the mazes, which I think makes them so good, because like they still offer amazing jump scares as well. Honestly, just like bodies, just like torsos, and they're just hanging up these people and like running around. It really gets you. But the village is like, that maze is the best maze I've ever done in my life.
Huge, isn't it?
It's massive. It's like multiple buildings. So you're in the woods and you go into a house, into a church, into a school, and it's just insane.
Really?
Yeah. It like
I said in my
video. I said in my video, I was like, it's like Resident Evil 5. I meant 4. If you play Resident Evil 4,
yeah.
It's
like that. It's
nice.
literally like that game. It's so good. And it just, I couldn't. That was the first one we did. I thought it was going to be like the least scariest for some reason. It was out, and then I went in there and I was like, I think we've peaked. And to be fair, all the mazes were amazing.
How long did it take to go through that? That sounds like quite a long experience.
I don't know. I didn't really time it, but it was probably like about 10 to 15 minutes.
Wow.
Like it was really, and they were batching us so well as well. So it's just me and Joe. We didn't catch up
through the whole village, just you and Joe.
It's like, it's not like you're in like a massive. You're not like actually in a village.
Whole village.
You still got like a single track to follow, like a path.
Yeah. I get that.
But like, so you go through the first house inside, come outside, and then there's like a little path. You go into a work shed, little paths, that sort of thing.
Right. Okay.
But like we didn't bump into anyone when we was in there.
That's so good. It's so
amazing. And none of the mazes we did catch up to anyone. That was really good. And like Ash Hell was like, didn't have many actors in it. They let it down. That's the type of maze that needs to be packed of actors. But anyway, I'm giving my review of this. But yeah, it's, if anyone's close by or wants to go to a scare event, Extreme Scream is so good, and even socially distant, like really well done. So.
That's cool, man. What else do you guys think about what they've done?
Sounds really good.
Across the industry, really.
I haven't been to any scare event this year.
I will say,
No.
Neither have I. I watched a walkthrough video of Busch Gardens Tampa's Howler Scream that they're doing this year, from Tim Tracker, I think it was.
Yeah.
And they're not they haven't set up any any haunted houses or scare mazes, but they've just done completely scare zones. So it's just all scare zones all throughout the park, and they all look really good. Taking into account all the social distancing measures and stuff like that. They all still look really well done. The costumes that all the scare actors are wearing, all the masks.
Yeah, I've noticed that across the board, that the costumes that everyone has now have like really tried to
incorporate the masks.
Bring the gap closer so you actually feel your costumes.
They incorporate the masks so well, and like for this one in particular and some others, I was thinking if we weren't so aware of the pandemic, I wouldn't have thought they were doing it. They had masks on because of the pandemic.
Yeah,
like that's how seamlessly they incorporated the masks into the costume. I thought.
I mean, for like the swarm scare zone, it just fits perfectly with the type of environment.
Yeah.
And obviously the crows, they've got a full on. But
the thing is,
the crows are awesome. They look so good.
They're creepy, man. Because
straight
they've got
Batman. Straight out of Batman.
The crows, they've got like all around the park. They've got like their own perches. So like sometimes you'll see them on them, and then sometimes they'll just be gone. And it's that just seeing that is like so creepy, man.
It's like, where are they?
Like, and they don't. The thing is, they don't do anything. They just stand there, and sometimes go like that. But it's like the scariest thing, and it's a weird. But I love scare zones. Like I absolutely love them, and it's not even about the scares. It's not about being scared. Like when I was at Thorpe, I wasn't scared, but the fact that you get to interact. I don't know if you guys ever seen like we've done like Secret Cinema, where they like set up a massive event, and like we did the Stranger Things one, and you have like, your storyline and things like that. And that's what scare zones to me like feel like. When we was in Creek Freak, it's like you talk to one of the characters. They're like, go down there and get my brother. So then you go speak to his brother. He then sends you to his granddad, and then it's like you have like a message to pass on, and it's just so well done.
That's well cool, man. That's so
that's really cool.
That's really.
And you can have a laugh with them, and
I feel like there's more room for that kind of. For those kind of like creative interactions
moving forward
in scare zones than there are in scare mazes and haunted houses, and also just like how elaborate the sets in haunted houses and scare mazes can get pretty elaborate as well, and it can get really intensive. But I feel like just for me personally, I feel like in a scare zone setting that's open and it's outside, if you can have really good, really well designed set pieces and stuff that really manage to set a scene, I think it just works so well.
Yeah, it does, and it's like perfect, especially for Thorpe, because Thorpe is so compact. It's like you walk around there and you're fully aware that it's like it's Halloween there and it's Fright Nights, and it works really well. I can see why towers don't do it, because it's just way too big to like carry it on everywhere.
I mean, you'd be in like 50.
Yeah. But
one at Catania Canyon would be great though, like Hills Have Eyes kind of thing. That could really work there.
It would. But the problem is they have such a family market.
I know.
They have to tuck them away if they do them. Yeah. Like, so it's like, a 5-year-old kid's not going to be scarred for life.
Chased by a chainsaw.
Imagine if they did an event. Yeah, imagine if they did an event where they closed towers to anything other than the Skurfest event itself, and they turned the towers, the whole Alton Towers, into different scare zones throughout it. So it
would be wicked. It would be cool. It would be. I don't know how it would be so cool, but I don't know if they'd be able to fill it up. I don't know if it would work as well.
Yeah.
It's like, because when you go to Scarefest, when it starts to get to the evening, like the park empties out. Yeah, especially up like Forbidden like Valley. Like there's no one there. Like
you marathon everything. It's so great.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. But I'd love it to happen. But I think Thorpe got it bang on. But yeah, towers, like I say, by making that smaller patch of where Scarefest exists, is really good because they managed to work on all the music, and the lighting looks a lot better around the park, but not on the coasters.
Yeah.
What do we think of the actual scare mazes at Thorpe themselves? Because Harry asked a while back, are they any good? I've not done them personally, but has anyone here done them?
So I did. I know Chris has been to a few of them, haven't you, over the years?
Yeah.
Yeah, I only did it this year. This is the first time I've been to Fright Nights. So I did Reach of Evil. Took us like nearly 2 hours to get into that maze, because people were like kicking off and stuff. It was mental. But like that was the Friday. That wasn't that, you know, crazy Sunday. But that was on the Friday. But Roots was like, just weak, so weak. Like it had a good storyline that it was like these roots is like an experiment. You go in there and there's a scientist and tells you a code name, and again you have to take that name to get into the maze, and it was really well set up. But then when you got into it, it just felt like you was in a garden center, like, you know, when you go into the bushes and stuff outside. Like it was just like
gone down home base.
It didn't feel like a jungle.
That's so. Where was that based? Was that
that was where Blair Witch was meant to be?
So yeah, that's the exact thing that I thought with Blair Witch was. Yeah. It felt like I'm walking through a home base.
Literally felt that. Yeah, exactly. That's what it felt like. And then every now and again, someone in the tree would go, bleh. I'm like, yeah. What is that meant to? Am I scared of trees? I'm not. I'm not scared of trees.
With Fright Nights,
I didn't get that. Like that.
Fright Nights has got very, very weak recently.
Off from Creek Freak, that was really good.
Creek Freak was good.
So good.
Creek Freak was the best thing that one of the best things that they've
looked
done.
Amazing last year.
I feel like the
strongest Fright Nights they did was when Lionsgate were partnered with them, and they had the Lionsgate mazes. So My Bloody Valentine was probably the best maze that I've actually done. It was better than Creek Freak.
I've never done those ones.
It was really immersive, and they really played into, because it was, experiment 10, where they did separate everyone off into individual rooms.
Nice.
They separated people off in My Bloody Valentine.
Huh.
You were by yourself for parts of it, which just made it like so immersive. They split people into 2 rooms. I got chucked into a little cubby hole and left there for a couple
happens
minutes.
To you in the dungeons as well. It must be a thing.
They literally just pulled me off into a little cubby hole where the actors usually hide, and just leave me there in the pitch black for a couple minutes. I'm like, do I leave? You think, do I leave? And then you peek out, and then the actor's there, and you're like, oh god, no, I don't leave.
No, don't leave. Just stay there. Just wait.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I wanted to ask you about the Walking Dead maze, James. You did that, didn't you?
Oh, what? Do or Die?
Yes.
Oh, Do or Die, Living Nightmare as well. That's good as well.
Did I do? I did Living Nightmare. Living Nightmare was okay. Do or Die I preferred.
Living Nightmare Extreme, which happened for like a couple of weeks in like May. It's such a random time.
That one.
In May.
Yeah.
So they did it
exclusive run through
for the opening.
Wow.
For the opening, they did like an extreme scare maze.
That's bizarre, man.
Oh wow.
So
that's really cool.
But Do or Die was really well done. Like the theming was really cool. Like the whole interaction on the bus as well.
Quite comical, really. It was
yeah, parts of it were really funny.
Yeah.
The group we were with, not gonna lie, were really annoying. Like they were just mouthing off on the bus and stuff. But I think the actors saw us getting annoyed, so they actually separated us and chucked us into a cubby for a few minutes and let the group. They were basically already out of the maze by the time we got let out of that area, so we were going through with just us two. It was so much better.
Scare actors, they don't get enough credit for what they do, man. What they do.
They separated us from that group to make us have a better experience.
Yeah, they like know how. Not only is it like hard work what they're doing anyway, but they also like know like the different tactics of like how, like you say, like, oh, we can see this isn't going well, so we'll separate them off. Like they know what they're doing. It's such a crazy role. It's like live theatre, but where like the audience could potentially punch you in the face. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it is true.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like when you think what they have to go through.
I was watching
they're so passionate about it because when we was doing the towers one, we was like obviously talking to a lot of just so passionate about it.
Yeah.
And like very theatrical and stuff, and like you gotta take your hats off to them. They like do it no matter what. I love it when you go to the first run through of a season and they're just like screaming. Like on a normal year they'd be like screaming in your face, and then like by the end of it they're kind of just like because they've got no voice left. It's just like they go so hard.
Yeah, and I mean I was watching a run through of Creek Freak from last year on Jack Silkstone's channel the other night, and it was a behind the scenes, sorry. And basically the lady from FARP, I can't remember what her name was, she was saying that actors gauge who the confident one is in the group. They get taught to do that. They get taught to check the psychological impact they're having on different people, and they know who to send down the slide and stuff like that, who to separate off to go down good wood and rotten wood.
Yeah.
And
they weren't using that crawl space for most of last year.
Right. Okay.
They had health and safety issues with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, my point is that the actors and the actresses have really, they don't just scare people. They're trained, yeah. And if you were that bad, they would probably just pull you out the maze and start talking to you and stuff. Like it would happen.
I have seen people get pulled out through fire escapes. Yeah. And
I've ran through a fire escape before by accident in mine. I was at the front. I had on mine tours. I don't know if you guys have. I know a few of you have done it. Mine tours, you have a torch on the front of your helmet. I was at the front, and I just like something happened. I can't remember what it was, but I just headed for light.
The green light, emergency light
through this curtain and outside, and I was like, "Thank God it's done." And then my mate was just like, "No, mate, it's a fire exit. You got to come back in." I was like, "I don't want to go back in." I end up having to do it again.
Yeah. Once you leave, you can't go back.
But yeah, Creek Freak was a really, really good maze.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Next year,
I didn't get to do it.
Yeah, next year we've said this. Like, it's going to be a big trip. Like Skurfest next year, Fright Nights next year is going to be massive. Oktoberfest as well. Like, it feels like October and like November next year, if obviously COVID
September and October
does one. Yeah, September, October, and November if the fireworks return next year as well.
Yeah,
at Towers, it's going to be a very, very like busy
save
time.
All my holiday for then.
Yes, literally, that's probably what I'm going to do.
Have like 3 months off.
And obviously as well, next year we've got the opening of Gangster Granny as well at Towers, which is going to be an event.
Eventually,
it's going to be cool. I hope so. Yeah. It should be good. Another little dark ride there for the country. But yeah,
I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be like basically like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I think it's going to be that style.
Yeah, it's going to have them vibes. I think it's going to be funny.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have it's going to have a bit of humor in for the adults, but it's going to have a lot of laughs for the kids as well. Like it's going to be. I think it's going to be a good attraction. I really do think it's going to be good. Since they did the dungeons, like everything they've done outside of building an attraction. Like the theming, for example, for Skurfest on the lawn, Oktoberfest, all that stuff. Since they've done all that, everything has just been top notch. Like anything new that comes in has been top notch. Since Wicker Man, actually, everything's been top notch.
Yeah,
Towers, whatever they've put in, whatever they've done, the fireworks shows, even the shows off the side as well. Like it's just really good. It's really been really well done, and I'm looking forward to the future of Towers, big time. I
think I've said it multiple times, but I think Towers. Like individually the areas are so good and I love it. They just need to bring everything together a little bit. They need something, he's talking about how a lot of parks, like when I go to like Efteling, for example, like there's a story thread for all the different areas and stuff. And it makes sense. And it makes sense why there's separate areas in the park. They could just do something like that where they just had one standout attraction, whether that's a dark ride or a water ride or a coaster, but that just brought all the different areas together to explain. Like I think that would do a lot for them, and they could do a lot of marketing with that.
Do you think they missed out on Hex with that?
Yeah, I do. I feel like they could have really like expanded. Like this is why this land is like the way it is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They need something like that. and then they could have a really good, strong mascot that represents something to do with that, which they're trying to do with that Phileas character. I don't know what he's part of the fireworks and stuff.
Yeah,
like the power of the tower thing, like that should be just like the backstory or something, and just expand on it more.
Yeah.
Have
where does the power come from? Like,
yeah,
it's like, where does the power come from? How does the power generate? How does it generate all these memories and stuff like that? I think that could really work with Hex. Like, it really could work. It's the right atmospheric ride to push you through that story, and it's a good ending as well. Like, you've got a really nice finale with. I'm not saying the story of Hex is crap. Don't. I'm gonna say,
because I do like the story of Hex. Yeah, I do really like the story of Hex. But maybe just make use of the castle, another part of the towers, and do it like they did with Hex, where they made it feel like you was going out into the castle, but you're not. And make
the castle. The towers themselves are just really underutilized, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Apart from on like Scarefest, but
I get why they can't utilize them more, but
they don't have to use like they don't have to use they can have the entrance like they do.
Yeah.
Have the entrance through the towers and then take you out back or underground or whatever they want you to do.
Yeah.
Have a sick like trackless dark. Have like Rise of Resistance style.
Imagine that
dark ride.
That'd be mad.
Do you know what I mean? But based around towers, like about its own original story, like it would be so good. Like
I think they could generally pull off like a Warwick Castle kind of thing with the towers, though.
Yeah,
we were just talking about that the other day when Luke and James about just the dark ride lineup at towers now. It seems like they're covering all bases. Like they've got the more serious, scary one in Hex. They've got the more jokey, more maybe a little more tacky one in Duel, and then they've got the more directly family oriented one in Gangster Granny opening next year now. Like I think one of us said that it could just use that just that world class standout dark ride, like symbolic Forbidden Journey, Rise of Resistance, like level dark ride. Where it would go, I have no idea. Whereabouts in the park it would go, I have no idea. But they could find. They've got so much spaces to put, like not necessarily coasters because they're so noisy, but if they want the indoor attractions, it can't be that hard because it's like it's indoor. It's like not.
What I think could have been cool, and it was with the dungeons. Instead of putting it in the show building that they have, make it more like what London Dungeon used to be. Because London Dungeon, when it was based under London Bridge, in them arches, the atmosphere just made it 10 times better.
So much better.
Do you feel like your head were getting chopped off in the next 20 minutes?
Doing the dungeons now in London, because it is a soundstage, you look up, you're not seeing brick arches, you're seeing lighting rigs and stuff. It kind of breaks the immersion. Imagine if they put the Alton Towers dungeons in the actual towers.
I think I wouldn't like. I don't think I'd like that though, because I do like the dungeon attractions, but I was never fully on board with the Alton Towers dungeons anyway, because I was just like, I just still don't. Even though I like the attraction, I like that boat ride. I think it's actually like really cool. Like but I just don't think it fits in at towers. That's the attraction you have in every random city that like tourists just walk by and then go into.
I do get that. I agree with that.
But I would rather them come up with something unique to have something to do with the towers than like just because like I know what you're saying. Like I do prefer when the dungeons like use old locations, like Edinburgh dungeons are like exactly like that. Like you actually going underground. Warwick Castle, I love them dungeons because it's so like claustrophobic in there. Like
the old London dungeons had that because
they had that vibe. Really I do prefer it when they do that, but whether they would use, I don't know if I'd probably rather have a scare maze than the Alton Towers dungeons. But it would have made more sense.
The year-round scare maze.
Harry in the chat said, "Bring back Subterra."
Yeah, he nailed it.
Yes,
I literally
bring
said,
back
like, Subterra. I love Subterra. Like that was.
I really enjoyed it.
It was an experience you could just get away from everything else and just go into like almost Skurfest kind of season vibes with it, and you could just break away from everything that's going on in the park, and it always felt different. It never felt the same when you went in there.
Yeah.
And that was something that really felt unique to me as well. Like being able to go on an attraction, you know what it's going to do, you know when it's going to do it, you know how it's going to do it, and you know what's coming next, but it's never the same. It's always different.
Yeah,
I really appreciated that with Subterra.
Yeah.
I really did.
I love that it just expanded on the Nemesis. Like, we had
as well.
Expanded on it. Like,
it appealed to all the geeks inside of us, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
and I really liked it. Yeah, I know it got a lot of hate, but what doesn't? When
I don't know. I don't know why though. Like, if it was made now, I think everyone would be buzzing about it if it was constructed now. Like, I don't know what happened back then, where everyone was just like, oh, "This is a lot of crap." Like, what?
I know exactly what happened.
Go on, Chris.
This is my theory. Is because before Darren Brown, before Subterra opened, 13 opened, and that had the drop track element.
Ah.
Now everyone saw Subterra as being another drop. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing special. I think a lot of people was turned off by that.
Oh,
it's just literally 13 drop, and that's it. You know
it's not though, is it?
I kind of see why people think that, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of another similar thing to have again. Like, but but yeah, I guess I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? It's I think a lot of people were very disappointed because I remember doing 13 for the first time, and it didn't disappoint me. I thought it was cool. Like, I liked it, but I know
I love 13. I really like it.
Like, I think more people like it now than they did when it first opened because was it naturally expecting more. But I thought it was great. But I think after 13, like everyone was just waiting for like another disappointment. It was like that era, wasn't it, where everyone was just like, oh, what they're doing now. It's like, you know, they've ruined Rita or whatever. They just kept just constant moaning, really. Which, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like, it's good to critique a park and things, but sometimes I don't think it's warranted. Like, a lot of the times, like even Darren Brown, I think, like, it failed in the VR element, like we've talked about before.
Yeah,
but unique in it. There's nothing else you can find like that in the world. When you get a good run through on it, like, I think it's incredible.
I've seen a lot of conversation about it.
Yeah,
if they waited to do that investment and did it now,
it's so much different.
It would be so
different. They could still do it though, can't
the technology, VR technology now from when they first did it, VR back then, it was groundbreaking. This is just kind of coming into terms. It was quite experimental,
and
it wasn't quite there. If they were to do it now, and instead of using the Vive and having base stations in the train, which very easily gets the base stations, the little light boxes.
I know, I'm joking.
They get blocked so easily by the actors going past. If you had like what I've got, the inside-out tracking in it, if they upgraded their computer systems a bit to actually handle the amount of headsets that they have, because it feels like it can't handle the amount of headsets that are on per train.
I remember when I found
that it would make it so
Galactica was
much
run on phones, and I was like, "What is this?"
It's
like when it first opened, and I was like, "What? It's a phone in there." Like,
Galactica was just an advertisement for Gear VR.
Yeah,
I got on it.
You could buy it in the shop on the way out, couldn't you?
I got on it for the first time, put it on, and I was literally like, okay, this is cool. It fired up, shut down, ride shut down. I had to get off. Got evac'd at the station. That was my experience of Galactica.
I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was like, except like I was like, as a first time I've done it, it's kind of different. Like, but it felt like more like I would like it for like one season, you know, like Brave It Backwards type of thing. Like maybe for one season, which
it's not a permanent thing.
But I just felt like it was so heavy on your head, and you're in that position anyway. It's uncomfortable as it is, and then you add more weight to your head, so you're having to like hold your neck up. It's just like, it's not comfortable at all.
It wasn't the right ride, was it? They should have done it.
No. It's I don't know what made them think like that specific coaster. Any other coaster, I don't want it on any coaster, but any other coaster literally would have worked better than Galactica.
I think so.
Runaway Mine Train would have probably been better.
That's
what I mean.
Cool.
Yeah.
I do like Runaway Mine Train's theming, so
we got when we went on not the last time we went, but the first weekend of Skurfest, we went on it like right at the end of the night, and we got like, I think it was like 8 laps on it at the end of the night. You kept basically ride up, kept going, slowing down and going, okay, hope you enjoy your ride and have a nice evening. After this, next one. And, just kept going out. And it was at the end, it was like, can we actually just like get off now?
Sam, 13 probably would make a better experience, because when you go into the crypt, you could really like
13.
Yeah, you could properly.
Oh, imagine that.
Mad stuff on VR on that. That would be, and then you just drop. Wow, that would be stomach.
I always felt like they missed a massive trick of like having something happen in that like building before
visual.
Yeah. That's the only thing that I feel like brings it back is that nothing happens.
Get some animatronics in there.
Do you know what I'd like to hear in that building?
I think they missed the trick on the backwards bit because
if they theme that as well,
if they themed up the
there.
Corridor where the
strobes,
where
that's
the
all it
backwards
needs.
ride goes, yeah, literally, because like it would complement what currently happens in the building so well. I think to have some more happening in that backwards corridor.
Yeah.
What I would like to see or like to hear when you go in the crypt is the curse from Hex. The way the witch says the curse in Hex. Imagine that. And then imagine the strobe lights going off before you drop. The sound of the crack, a massive shot of lightning above. Like you could tie the two rides together.
That's because they didn't want to tie the two rides together.
But they should tie the two rides together.
They should have done, but
they're perfect. The sound of 13 falling is a branch cracking.
Yeah, I know.
Why is it not the chain?
Is there a reason why they decided not to?
Because they're idiots.
It's because
I'm really annoyed about this point.
It's because from what I can gather is they didn't really market Hex towards being a family type attraction, the story behind it. They wanted to have a separate story which they can market towards a scary family attraction.
Yeah, but Wicker Man is a family attraction. And burning people, like that's literally sacrifice.
Yeah, I've seen so many kids out of that queue because they got terrified.
Yeah,
Wicker Man.
Like that is a family attraction, and they're just like Wicker Man.
Wicker Man's tunnel at the end as well.
Literally was just about to say, like, Airtime John in the chat said that needs to be just flames all over the place now.
Why isn't it just like the station? Wait, with the wall in the station? Why isn't it just like the wall in the station, just all the way down on one side? I understand you've got storage track to the right, so you can't do anything.
Aaron said
there.
Medium rare.
Yeah, medium rare Aaron. He always puts that when he goes on. He puts his hand up to the picture and he puts medium rare, please. His finger does on Facebook. It's pretty funny. Yeah, make sure you our Facebook group. Yeah.
Talking of Wicker Man, sorry, Luke, but it's not rough, mate. It's not rough. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not rough, but it doesn't ride like the first year, and it's not new though. That's the problem.
Aged.
No, but the thing is
that bank turn.
The bank turn inside
the Wicker Man.
Yes, that's the bit.
I got a bad rattle on it. Not like it didn't bother me.
No,
it was just like
it's just the rattle.
This is
there.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Like this is what I mean. It's like I think the problem is like we're all very used to like Wicker Man brand new. Like we don't in this country we don't get that opportunity to ride like a brand new wooden coaster that often. So I think that comparison is like it has got a rattle, but like you go on. I don't know if anyone else has done like Troy or George and Dragon. Them GCIs. They're the only other two GCIs I've got, and they have got that rattle because like they're wooden. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's not bad roughness, so it's not one that had put me off the ride. Unlike Hyperion.
Now I can actually comment. Now I can actually comment on it because I've actually.
Oh yeah, your first CoasterGen Show comment about Wicker Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. For me, it was just like you guys said, it was literally just that long left turn into the first pass through the Wicker Man statue that was a bit jackhammery. The rest of it literally feels like every other GCI I've ridden.
Yeah,
all the way from Invader to Thunderhead to American Thunder to Lightning Racer, Wildcat. Like they all feel the same. Well, Wildcat being the first, it's got a bit more. It's got a bit more jackhammery kind of sensations to it. Just because GCI have improved over the years and stuff, but like it feels like Wicker Man. For the most part, I'd say like 98% of it feels about the same as any other GCI for me.
The problem is, it was almost like riding like a steel coaster when it first went on it. It was so smooth.
It was, yeah.
And I was saying to somebody else, I really wish I could have ridden it in its first.
But I also think that's why it's ruined it for a lot of people, because I think we were still expecting that, and it's never going to be that. Because I think when you were saying your show, in my opinion show, Mikhile, when you said like the way it's treated is basically what develops its character of each wooden coaster, and that's like 100% agree with that. And it's kind of just like definitely. that when you get on like most
need
wooden coasters, yeah, literally. But when you get on like most wooden roller coasters, they've been around for like years and years and years, and you go, okay, well that was the experience, and then you know what to expect. Whereas, with Wicker Man, it's kind of like, it was just so good when it first opened. It was like so surprising as well, because it was way faster than it even looked off rides. Like most wooden coasters you're like, that looks mental, but Wicker Man it looks pretty tame, and you get on it and it just like was mind blowing.
I agree. Yeah, I said
that first year.
Like, Harry's just said something in the chat which is really striking. Actually, he's mentioned Wildfire at Colmarden. Said it's like riding a steel coaster. It's an RMC topper track coaster, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Says it's like riding a steel coaster. It's nothing like wood, and honestly, that made him sad. And that is it, isn't it? Like wooden roller coasters have their own specific sensations, their own specific experience, their own specific character to them. Like it can't be replicated with like a steel coaster. It can't be compared.
They're just different, aren't they? Like
they're just so different. They're just so different.
There'd be no point. Like that's what I think. And I think like coasters are just getting smoother and smoother and smoother, and that just makes other coasters feel like rougher. Like it's like when it open suddenly, like
steel coasters getting smoother is making wooden coasters feel worse.
I never felt so rough in my life because I'm just an icon.
Like,
Like
when I went on Nash, I was scared to go on Nash with you and Joe. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be bad, and got off it. And I was like, you know what, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Well, it was the same when we went.
Yeah, we had a fantastic ride. I had a similar ride to when I was with you, James, but I was at the back.
We were like second right, I think.
And it's crazy.
Like it's for what it is, it blows your mind, because for what it is, like they have no idea of like how to correctly profile. They didn't, you know what I mean? They didn't know any of that.
They didn't have a clue, really.
It is honestly like, it is rough. Like when you're talking like, oh, it's not that bad. It's like we're talking in terms of like Blackpool heritage wooden coasters here. Like they are going to be like rough, but like it's like you said, just like some of the double downs, like that's the only bit where it felt like the neck went inside my body, but
you became a turtle.
Yeah. I remember seeing your face going out of Grand National Station and being like on the back row, and I was like, seeing a bit.
I was like, oh man, I'm in for it here.
Back row.
Yeah, I was like, oh, oof. And I just shouted. I didn't know if you heard me. I just said, so far so good when we were going into the lift hill. Then I got the biggest jolt from that chain.
It's like,
I was like, no.
So far, so good.
No.
What?
It just felt that coaster just like when you obviously go up the lift hill and then come over. It just feels like someone's built it in the back garden, doesn't it? Like
it does, and you can see the greenhouse actually as well.
Yeah, like the greenhouse is
just chilling there. Yeah.
It's like, imagine that would exist at some like random eccentric rich person old man's house. Like, I've got a coaster on the back. Do you want to try
it? Richie Rich.
Yeah, that's a great film, by the way.
It's 10 o'clock. By the way, guys.
Yeah, I know. So, is there anything else anybody wants to talk about? Oh, Chris, you've got. Do you want to talk about your Twitch and your gaming aspect that you're getting on with at the moment?
Do you want to talk about Energylandia as well?
We'll leave that for
easy.
It can be next week.
Yeah. We'll do that another time.
We could do that another time. But I might as well talk about what's happening now with the gaming thing. So basically, I started up Twitch just because I was I'll be honest, I was a bit bored of doing YouTube, so I was like, I want something new.
Yeah.
So I loaded Twitch up, started playing some Sonic games and whatever. And it's become a bit of a thing with me now. I'm like, this is quite addictive. I kind of set myself a challenge now. To do all the Sonic the Hedgehog games, because
nice.
They're like a childhood favourite. It's nice to revisit, childhood games. So that's what I'm doing on Twitch.
I was obsessed with Sonic the Hedgehog as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I love Sonic, man. But what I'm doing is
all hell broke loose.
You just gotta give him a blow, you know.
Yeah, you've got to give him a blow. Gotta give him a blow.
Always works. But yeah, so basically I'm gonna start a YouTube channel called ScrewyLoops Gaming. Yeah, very
original. Yep.
Yeah, very cliche, but you know, it does the trick.
It's good.
And I'm just gonna upload all my Let's Plays to there. So I'm gonna be like completing like all the Sonic games, complete all different games, whacking on there. And it's just like my live reaction all the time. So you know, if you're into that, I love watching stuff like that. I tend to watch a lot of gamers, just kind of their reactions to like everything. So I
watch people play games more than I actually play games. It's weird.
A lot of people.
It used to be the other way around.
I feel like so many people do that.
A lot of people do. I remember when I was a kid, the only way you could watch people play games was on Sky One on a Saturday morning for like 2 hours. Like they'd have like these gaming shows on, like what's coming up next, what's the best games and that. And now it's just like YouTube is just like, that's the latest game. I'll just watch NBA for the next 4 hours.
I just want to put out there, I was Chris's 69th follower on Twitch. Nice.
Nice. Should we end on that? I think we should end on that. That James was.
And on that note.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 1 of season 2 of the CoasterGen Show. It's so good to be back. It's so awesome to talk to all you guys as well in the chat. It's been absolutely amazing tonight. Thank you, Chris, for coming on. I've enjoyed you being
Thanks
on.
For having me
Hopefully, you'll come on again. Like honestly,
100%, man.
Being on here. And if you guys are interested and you want to come on, then feel free to shoot us a message on Twitter or drop us a message on Discord or whatever. Just let us know if you want to come on. It'd be good. We've got some fantastic guests coming up on this season. It's going to be really informative. It's going to be a laugh as well. So yeah, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Make sure you subscribe to ParkSpill as well and subscribe to ScrewyLoops. If you haven't already, you probably have. That's why you've come over here. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to us as well. Yeah, so make sure you subscribe, hit that bell and follow us on all our socials. And for now, I've been Luke. He's been Mikhile. He's been Sean from ParkSpill. And he's been Chris from ScrewyLoops. And he's been James. And we've been CoasterGen. And we'll see you next time. Say bye, James.
Bye, James.
Bye, James.